Here we go. Hello, Facebook friends, hello. Hello, Facebook friends, hello. I'm feeling real silly, so let's start the show. We'll start the show. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll start the show. Because I'm feeling silly. So here's what I forgot to do. Miss Christie, every night Miss Christie says to me, hey, have these books up here? Oh. I just got attacked by burp. Oh, let's put them back up there. There we go. I thought those books might fall on my head, but it was that fell on my head instead. He's even mad at me. He won't even look at me. So every night, Miss Chrissy says to me, is your phone plugged in and charging? I'm like, yeah, the phone plugged in and charging. Yeah, the phone's plugged in. Yes, my phone's plugged in and charging. Yeah, of course it is. And then I looked at my phone. 21%? That's not charging. So I plugged my phone into charge, but I did not plug the plug into the thing to plug it into the wall. Because I looked over and I'm like, oh, it's plugged into the wall. But the thing wasn't plugged in. The Miss Christie's here. Say hi, Miss Christie. If I touch you, get a puppy. Oh.
You touched me.
I know. So here's what. Justin says hi, Miss Christie too.
Hello.
So here's what happened. The cord was not plugged into the thingy. What's the thingy?
Thingy-bob.
The whatchamahoogie-bigoo. Wasn't plugged into that was plugged in, but the cord wasn't. I didn't charge my phone, so we had to figure out what's going on. So we put a book and another book and then another book like that, and then a book, so the plug-in, because the plug-in's in the bottom, and then the plug is there, and then I put the book like that, and then it was crooked, so it was like this, right? So I thought, oh, well, maybe I could just do my whole show, like just turn like this maybe, but it didn't work like that, because it's hard on my back, and I should just plug my phone in. So Miss Christie, you had to be very specific. Tazzy, is your phone plugged into the cord, plugged into the wall, and is the power on?
There's a flea on the hair, on the wart, on the frog, on the bump, on the log, and the hole in the bottom of the sea.
I see. There's a hair on the flog, and a blog, and a bog, and being in the bottom of the sea. No. There's a hole in the flog, and the horde of frogs on the blog, and the hole in the bottom of the sea.
No. There's a flea on the hair, on the wart, on the frog, on the bump, on the log, and the hole in the bottom of the sea.
How's it go again?
There's a flea on the hair, on the wart, on the frog, on the bump, on the log, and the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
There's a hole in the middle of the sea too, like that, because that's how it makes it a sea. There's a hole in the middle of the donut, take a bite out of it, and it becomes the letter C. There's a hole in the donut. If you take a bite out of it, it becomes the letter C.
It's been so
There's
long
a bite in the
I've
donut.
had a good donut.
Well, where do you get a good donut from?
Tim Hortons. They make okay donuts. I could go for a cruller or a
crawler.
A cruller.
I go a creepy cruller.
Or a apple fritter right now.
Oh, guess where you're going later. So you know what they're missing their they should have for Halloween they should make their crullers into spiders and call them creepy crullers. Creepy crullers. It's already starting, Barb. Where's my groan? I'm a grown man. Oh boy. These are Dr. Seuss books. That's why they go up in the Dr. Seuss collection up there. But that was this is my favorite Dr. Seuss book. All the places that you'll go. Here's the most important thing you'll ever read in a book, other than, safety instructions probably. But here we go. Let me just see. I'll put these on. There's a hole in the donut if you bite up. Take a bite, it's the bottom of the sea. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steal yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are who will decide where you go. So there. And you, my dear, are going to go to Tim Hortons.
I don't think so. It's icy out.
It's not icy out. It's not very icy anymore. It's actually...
Did you see that, folks? Those were his lying eyes.
It's not very icy out at all. It's actually not. It's not too bad. It's more icy on the top.
You gotta tell them about our squirrel.
Okay, we have a squirrel. So anyway, I thought it'd be a more interesting story than that. So I didn't see this. Pardon me. So we have a squirrel in our yard, and he's about. It's not very big. He's only about.
This was the year it was born.
It was a little squirrel. No, okay. This is the same squirrel, by the way. I don't know if you remember this story, but I was building a shed, and I had to take down one of the birdhouses that squirrels don't know are birdhouses. They think they're squirrel houses, and I knew the squirrel was living in one of the birdhouses that I had to take down. Because we had a squirrel that lived at this end and a squirrel that lived at the other. So that was the same squirrel that when I banged it around and made some noise to make sure there's no squirrel in there, and I pulled it off, and then all of a sudden the squirrel went, yeah, and launched itself out and on. So same squirrel, by the way, I'm pretty sure. We haven't named it yet. We should name it Puppy. But this squirrel today, because it rained, I don't know where you are all, but in Winnipeg, it rained last night and today, and it was very slippery. And we have a bird feeder outside our window, so the cats have TV. And the squirrel was trying to get up the bird feeder, so it's getting up the bird feeder, and then it would lean over to try to lean on the bird feeder to get it, and it would slide down the pole. So it would crawl up again, and it would just reach over, and it would slide down the pole. And at one point in time, the squirrel's like, "Rats!" and he climbed up again, and he leans way over, and he slide down the pole. And eventually, he sloughed all the ice off of the pole, yeah, and was able to get up to it. So, so the squirrel was climb, and then, and he's like, "That's never happened before. What's going on here?" And the cat was just, at one point in time, Cosmo had his arms crossed going, "Come see this. Squirrel little nuts."
I bet you that squirrel was so hungry by the time he actually got to eat.
That's why now Miss Christie, she puts Mazola oil on the stairs and puts the pizza at the top of the stairs, and I gotta climb up and I gotta slide down. I gotta climb up and I gotta slide down. I gotta climb up. I gotta slide down. We had some of the best pizza I've ever had today. It was really good pizza from Little Pizza Heaven. So Seth at Little Pizza Heaven, thank you so much for. We had the chicken, the clubhouse one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clubhouse. It was really, really good. So ask me how my diet's going. Anyway, I don't need a diet. I just need a lifestyle change a little bit. I got to do a little bit more walking to get my. I got to exercise.
Today's not a good day to go.
Oh, it's awesome! I do a lot of exercises just going to the car. I was so funny. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like a cartoon where your legs are just going.
I was Fred Flintstone. If I was a car, even today I was driving along. My car was going. Says the speedometer said 60, but I was only going about 4. But it wasn't as. It was more slippery on just around our house than it was actually on the streets today. That was true. That was true. I just want you to go get donuts now. Have you seen the squirrel obstacle course on YouTube? No, but it'd be very cool if I could dress like a squirrel and try it. Hey, let's read a couple of books, because you're not here to listen to me talk. You're here to see me read, and Miss Christie hit me with a pillow, but I distracted her and she didn't bring a pillow down. But she has a fist. And that. Will You Read to Me? There you go. This is a book called Will You Read to Me? And I got this book at the at Kildonan place. Not Kildonan, Kildonan Thrift Shop with my buddies Sam and Dave. We went there. And this book was from the library, and it was withdrawn in 2007. Withdrawn, Your Honor. And it was probably drawn before that, and then was withdrawn after that. This is Anthem books for young readers. Well, I'm reading an older reader, but I'm a young mentally. In 2007. Okay, so it wasn't withdrawn in 2007. Must have been. Anyway, this book is story and pictures by Denise Cazet. And it's called Will You Read to Me? Shall we read? I will. Will you read to me? I will. There you go. This book is for Donna. So Donna, there you are. So there's the first picture. There's no words. Oh, I hit myself on the head with the book. I think it was the book getting back at me for being silly. Hamlet, good name of a pig, Hamlet, leaned over the fence. He looked at all the pigs soaking in the mud. Mum, he said, Dad. A big pig looked up and went, Yes, dear? I have a new book, said Hamlet. Will you read it to me? Hamlet's father sat up. Is it a cookbook? He asked. No, said Hamlet. It's about a dragon that doesn't want to be one. Said his father, and rolled over into a warm spot. Hamlet showed his mother his notebook. I wrote some poems, he said. I can read them to you. Poems, said his sister. What kind of pig writes poems? What kind of pig wears a clean shirt? Said his brother. Look, Ma, there's not a spot on it. Hamlet tried to cover his shirt with his notebook. It's a good thing there aren't two of them, someone said. Twins, said his big brother. Hamlet and eggs. Or, if, the way my French teacher would say, Hamlet and Higgs. Just as everybody started to laugh, they saw the farmer walking away from the eating trough. Supper! They shouted, and shoved and pushed their way across the mud hole. Hamlet looked at the pigsty. He didn't feel very hungry. He looked at a spot of mud on his favorite shirt, and then walked away. Supper, supper, supper. Nom, 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 nom. Supper, supper. Nom, 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 nom. Does that sound familiar from earlier tonight? Supper, supper, supper. Nom, 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 nom.
Quite familiar.
It's because you were
I'm
sick.
so hungry. Chris, you've never been this hungry before.
I know. Miss Christie says that all the time. Then he saw the farmer's pond. He stopped for a moment and watched the rising moon. I see a bad moon rising. Bomb, 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 of any blue moon, blue moon, dip, 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 blue moon, blue moon. He sat down near the edge of the water and wrote a new poem in his notebook. Then he looked into the pond and saw his twin looking back. Can you see okay? Oh, he gasped. It's you, Hamlet waved, and his twin waved back. Do you mind if I call you Eggs? Hamlet asked. Eggs didn't answer. I'll read to you, said Hamlet, and then you can read to me. Can there be such a thing as pigness without dirt? Or am I, Hamlet, just a sort of pig with mud on his favorite shirt? Here's his poem. That's a little poem. Hamlet looked in the water again, and the wind ruffled the surface of the pond. Hamlet's twin bobbled up and down in the moonlight. Oh, good, he said. I'm glad you like it. Now it's your turn. Black leaves drifted in the fading sky, and the shadows crept along the edge of the pond. The frogs began their nightly chorus, and the owl hooted. The breeze rattled the cattails, brushed Hamlet's face, and then it was quiet. Very nice, said Hamlet. I wrote a poem about the wind. I'll read it to you. The wind is rising with the moon, like whispers from a tender ghost. On October wind, soft and warm, gently moving through the garden. Listen. You can hear the sound of brushed silk sitting by the window. Shh. Listen. It's a nice poem, actually. Did you get it? Hamlet asked. Brushed silk is the fur of the black cat I saw sitting by the farmer's window. The little pig looked into the water just as a cloud drifted across the moon. Hamlet's twin began to fade away. Oh, said Hamlet. Don't go. I'll see if you like this other one. Better, it's about a cantaloupe. The moon is cold. The moon is a cold. Sometimes, because I have dyslexia, that when my brain starts to see one word and it's not the other word, and then it tries to catch up and see the other word, which is the other word, and the other word, and the other word, and the other word, and it just doesn't work. So my brain goes, we'll just make whatever word we want to say. I used to be very embarrassed about that when I was in school, because some students and even some teachers would tease me about because I couldn't read properly. But now I just say, I've got dyslexia and I'm going to try again, but in a different voice. Here we go. The moon is a cold slice of cantaloupe sitting on a porcelain plate, ready to be carved by the constellation spoon. Well, isn't that a nice picture? Hamlet looked into the pond. It was dark. Oh, he said sadly. Goodbye, eggs. I guess you didn't like that one either. I guess he doesn't realize that's his reflection, eh? Hamlet sat down. I liked it, said a small voice. Me too, said another. We all did. Hamlet looked up. Oh my, he said. Will you read to us? They all asked. Oh, isn't that sweet? Look, they were all, Miss Christie, all the animals were sitting and listening to Hamlet.
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty good. I knew you'd like this book. So, he read to everybody.
Did you ever read my story?
I read part of it and then I put it down and then I put it somewhere. I think it's up. No, you know what? It might be with Hebert. I read part of it and then somebody came over and I got put it down. Can you print it off for me again, please?
I can.
Thank you. If I read her story, she'll get me a puppy.
No.
I'll read your story even if you don't get me a puppy.
I hope you read my story.
Yep, as long as you get me donuts. Here is a book now. Oh, by the way, what lesson did we learn from that? We learned that just because I'm going to read a story doesn't mean I'm going to get donuts or a puppy. I learned that part. But you know what? Sometimes, Hamlet didn't. He didn't mind being a pig. He just didn't want to get dirty, right? He was just a pig that liked to be clean. And I wrote a little story about a pig that wanted to be clean. Can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you know what? Just because your family and your friends aren't encouraging you to do what you want to do it anyway, right? As long as it's nice things, right? You want to just throw rocks at somebody. That's not very nice.
Yeah, no, it should always be laced with, a certain level of kindness and peace.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I like these poems. This book is called Rover. Rover. And this book is by Michael Rosen, and it's illustrated, I think, by Neil Layton. And This book is from 1999, and it was published in Great Britain by Bloomsbury Children Books. So here we go. It's called Rover. I kind of took a glance at this. I just like the whimsical pictures. This is my pet human. Humans come in all sizes. She's the kind who is a bit bigger than me. I named her Rover. Her ears are not as good as mine, and she has very weak claws. Her coat only covers her head. So it's told from the dog's point of view. It says not very good ear, another not very big good ear, a little bit bigger than me. Her dad, who I call Rex, has a coat on his face. Her mum, who I called Cindy, doesn't. This is a silly book. I like this book.
Silly books are good.
Silly books are good. Silly books are awesome.
Sometimes you just need it,
Yes.
silly.
Silliness. That's why you married me.
Correct.
Sometimes I sit on Rover. Sometimes Rover sits on Cindy, and sometimes Rover sits on Rex. Sometimes we all just sit on each other. Rover doesn't eat her food properly. She pokes it with metal things. At night, I take her to her basket. It's very long, and when she's in it, she hides under a cushion with small bears. I let her have a rabbit as well, though I'd like it in my basket. Hey, Jen and Dylan, how are you? Her bark is very squeaky. Sometimes my friends bring over other of the same kind of small humans. As they're young, we think it's all right if they all bark a lot together. Now, when Rover and I go to the park, she keeps losing her ball, but I always bring it back for her. Fetch, boy, it says. She has to spend a lot of time watching a loud-colored box, and when she's bored with it, I wag my tail and she watches me instead. She keeps losing her ball, so I keep bringing it back to her. That's what I was doing. In the summer, I lead them to the family box, and then Rex and Cindy move in it very quickly to the seaside. I hope I'll go faster by putting my head out the window. I help it move faster. You ever seen a slow motion video of the dog with the big mouth and the air is in his mouth? Like that.
What was that?
Like that.
Can I see it again?
You want me to do it slower? Like that.
Okay.
So you haven't?
I think I just did.
Well, we go to an enormous sandpit where humans rip off nearly all their winter outer clothes, and then some of them run around in colored underclothes, and some of them lie down and pretend to be dead.
That's my favorite game, is to pretend I'm dead.
Oh,
Oh no!
sorry about that.
Got a little too excited.
I can knock the book off. I think this should be fine now. We only got one book left. There we go. Let's put it back up here. There we go. Sorry about that, kids. Knock the book off. Did you guys think I fell forward? Okay. Lie down and play. It's funny. Lie down and play dead. One day last summer, we sat in a sandpit while the wind blew the sand all over us. I liked it, but Rex and Cindy didn't. At the end, they fell asleep under a blanket. Near where we were sitting, a man and a woman were trying to eat each other. That's when Rover went for a walk. It was sad to see her getting smaller and smaller, and then disappear, trying to eat each other and kissing. They tried to eat each other. That's very funny. When Rex came out from under his blanket, he stood up and looked up and down and around the sandpit. Then he woke Cindy up, and they were both started barking. Wake up! I've looked everywhere. She's gone. Wait, what? Where? Cindy rushed over to people eating each other and started pointing at their all over the sandpit and barking some more. And then they all looked at me. Eating each other. That's very funny. Rex waved Rover's rabbit under my nose and barked at me. It was getting very loud, and all the people who had been lying down now stood up. Cindy patted me, and Rex waved Rover's rabbit again. Where is she? Go find her. Good boy. Go smell the rabbit. They've seen too many movies. I thought it was time to go back to the box, but I didn't want to go without Rover, so I walked around the sandpit to fetch her. They're all like, he's going to go get her. I like this book. This may be one I keep for the kids, I think. That and that, Will You Read to Me? I think I'll keep that one. Rex and Sandy walked behind me. They kept looking at the sea. Every human we walked past, they barked at. There was a group of humans who were trying to smash a ball into a net. Sometimes they missed and it went over. And they barked a lot, but I didn't see Rover. Trying to smash a ball into a net. Who's Annette? That might be their friend Annette. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Annette.
Annette who?
Annette will help you catch fish. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Anita.
Anita.
I need a puppy. I need a puppy. I need a puppy. Puppy, 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 puppy. I need a puppy. It says that's the same thing to me. To me, want and need are the same thing.
All too often.
It is. I know, but we need puppy. If we wouldn't have to pay taxes if we had a puppy.
No.
Yep. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
We do.
No.
We need a puppy.
No.
Let's vote. Who says we need a puppy? There you go. There's a vote.
No.
You don't get all the votes.
Yes.
You do not get all the votes.
Yes.
You do not get all the votes.
Yes.
Listen, there's going to be a scandal, and then what'll happen is there'll be a scandal, and then you'll distract me and we'll never think about it again. Rex and Cindy were breathing loudly, and then there were more lines on their faces than usual. When we got to the rocks, and in between the rocks were puddles, and the puddles there were stupid things with 8 legs that walked sideways. Look, Miss Christie, it's a crab. Rex and Cindy wanted to go back and try to make me come too, but I thought, that's a bad idea, because as far as I knew, we'd come to the rocks to get Rover and bring her back. I jumped over the rocks and I couldn't see Rover, but I looked back and there were lots of people standing on the end of this sandpit waving their arms. Rex and Cindy were squeezing each other. Then I jumped over one more rock and there was Rover staring at a puppy, papalopalopus. Poodle, poodle. A little thing of water with a crab in it. I barked. She looked at me and pointed at one of those stupid 8-leggy things. I barked again, and Rex and Cindy came over the top of the rock and started barking and howling. Their eyes were all watery, and they rushed up to Rover and picked her up and squeezed her. Just seeing what you're looking at. Then we headed back. Cindy and Rex kept patting me all over and squeezed my neck quite a lot. Rex kept showing me Rover's rabbit to everybody and pointing at me. What a dog, he found her with his rabbit. I found her by accident, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to tell you because nobody talks dog. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
Don't worry, we'll get a puppy. At last, Rover came in the box too. And I thought, the next time, she starts getting smaller and smaller, I'll chase after her and keep her nice and big. That's a nice story.
It was.
It was neat. It was told from the dog's point of view.
Yep. That was
Right
very
now,
cool.
there's a. I'll take those books over here so I can put them on in the pile where we keep the books for the. Right now, there's a dog talking to his mom, going, "I need a Tazz," and she's like, "No,
Possibly. Let's try something.
no puppy. I still want a puppy."
It didn't feel like I was kind of hoping because
What? What?
I was kind of
I
hoping
can turn
for
into a
donut.
frog. I turn
Donut
into a
flavor, at
donut.
least. Well, he said they were
Miss
eating
Christie
each other,
probably.
like there must be a reason.
No, that's crazy. I don't know. Plus, I got a kiss, so that's kind of nice. Still want a puppy.
It was worth a try.
What? Did it make me turn into a puppy? Is that what you thought it was?
No.
Darf.
I was hoping for donuts. It tasted like pizza.
Well, it's because I brushed my teeth. It should taste like pizza and Ricola and maybe some not enough toothpaste. Maybe I don't know. Miss Christie's getting weird.
Getting.
Yeah,
I've
well,
always been.
you're kind of oddly weird.
Kinda.
I'm still talking to the dog
I'm
voice.
proudly weird.
You're proudly weird. That's our new shirt. It's proudly weird. I'm still talking to the dog voice, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Well, everybody. Oh, there we go. Somebody wrote something. Boop. I gotta put my glasses on so I can read. Love listening to you reading books. I had someone so enthusiastic as you, maybe I would have taken interest. Awesome. Anyways, kids, it's time for me. Thank you for being you. I love being me, actually. I just did a little video. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, blang, and I was having an anxiety attack. Right? Not a good thing. And it was because I was supposed to film a video today. And I was having a panic attack because I wasn't going to have a crowd and things like that. And Miss Christie goes, "Oh, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it like that." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't know. It's going to be horrible. Everything's going to happen. I'm going to get hit by a meteor." And what you didn't see behind us is the books just fell over for no reason other than probably gravity. But anyways, and so I was having a little freak out, and then I actually laid down and I meditated, and I just like, okay, in with the butterflies, out with the bees. I did the 4-7-8. You know what 4-7-8 is? In through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. In through your mouth. Hold it for 7. 2, 3, 4. When you shush it out for 8, and you do that 4 times, and it'll actually calm me down. And then I talked to my buddy Anders today because I had to go to his studio to film everything. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know why you're going to freak out because it's going to be good." And I'm like, "It's not going to be good. There's going to be lightning and I'm going to fall down and I'm going to break my spleen or something like that." Like, I just think everything was just blah, blah, blah. And part of it is because I left it to the last minute. Well, guess what? It's going to be awesome. I think what I'll do is I'll post it so you can see it after I get permission from the people I shot it for. And it's just all about mental health and things like that. And it went pretty good. It went really good. I'm excited about it. So here's what I know. I often freak out. And then when I'm done doing the project I'm freaking out about, I forget why I was freaking out. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I was going to say. Nothing to... just, I was freaking out today. And then I remembered my own words. Just... breathe and have, breathe and take some time. So when you're freaking out, and it was nice that I could tell Miss Christie about it too, and she just helped me through it because she knows what it's like to have little freakouts as well. And it's nice. I thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
That's my way of saying I want a puppy.
Everything you say is about I want a puppy.
Except for
It doesn't mean you can have a puppy.
No, I know. It just means I'm going to have to sneak one in and then not let you know it's here. I have to teach you to be very quiet. Yeah. That tastes like donuts. Try it.
No, thank
Try
you.
it. Try it. Tastes like donuts. And now look at my hat. I look like an elf now. There's not going to be a lot of shelves that'll hold me. That's for sure. Anyways, remember that it's okay to have all the emotions that you're having. If you're having a little freak out, share it with you. Share it with those that love you and that can help you get through it. Make sure that if you don't remember, it's okay to get mad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be freaking out sometimes. But you have to always be kind, right? You can choose to be anything in this world that you want. Why not choose always to be kind? You know? Always be kind, always be kind. I promise myself to try to always be kind. And I say try because sometimes we're not going to be kind. Sometimes we're going to have our words come out of our mouth before our heart gets into gear. And when you do that, all you have to do is say, sorry, I should have been more kind, and try very hard the next time. And don't worry about being perfect, because in all that you say and all that you do, you never have to be perfect. You've just got to be you. So I will go be me, and you go be you, and Miss Christie will be Miss Christie, and I will talk to you tomorrow. So lots of love from Miss Christie and I. Good night, Facebook friends, good night. Good night, Facebook friends, good night. May your dreams be silly and your dreams be bright. Good night, Facebook friends, good night. Sleep tight, Facebook friends, sleep tight. Sleep tight, Facebook friends, sleep tight. May your dreams be so silly till the morning light. Good night, Facebook friends, good night. Have some fun, dream about puppies, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Puppy?
Donuts.
Oh, I wish I knew you were going to do that, because I would have went like that. Trade you.